Alright, going out on my back porch, and this is what I've been working on. Look at that. That is going to be amazing. That is going to be so amazing. Ooh. Yeah. It is not finished yet. Now, how I got these really tall waves right there, it's more than a half an inch tall. How I got that is you take the UV resin, the ultraviolet resin, and you pour it in here while it's bright sunlight. You might want to have somebody else pour it and then somebody move it. You just kind of move the surface around, move this board around is what I did. And move it to the side, slosh it around. And this stuff, look at that. It hardens like that fast. It starts to get chunky within 30 seconds. Only when it's direct sunlight. Oops. I need to clean that sand off of there. Yeah, when it's a cloudy day like this, it might take 20 minutes to harden like that. But when it's bright sunlight, I mean, it is like that movie, The Day After Tomorrow. Remember where, like, that storm cell right in the middle of it, anything beneath it, like, immediately freezes, like, you know, puts it, like, negative 200 Fahrenheit or something like that. Or, like, almost as cold as liquid nitrogen. I mean, it just, like, instantly, because it pulls in all that, you know, in that movie, you know, it was pulling in all that cold air from space and just dropping it directly on the earth. Well, that's, you know, like how fast the water freezes, like the water waves or whatever in the ocean, or the fuel lines in the helicopter. Like, that's how, like, quickly, like, this resin cures in direct sunlight like that. I mean, but look at that, though. This is just looking so beautiful. Now, I mixed up epoxy resin with a mixture of light brown sand and white sand. So about 1 part light brown sand and probably 3 parts white sand. And then you add in some of this glitter. So I got this chunky gold glitter. What I'm trying to make is what I bought here. But they had like fine glitter in there, and I'm like, yeah, well, I want to try this chunky glitter. Maybe it'll glisten in the sun a little more magically. Oh, man, I'm thinking about, I think I should have put on, should I have put on like a mixture of like that coral color, so it's like, looks like the sunset? Yeah, I should probably mix in like a sunset version of it. Yeah, but look at how beautiful that's going to be with the palm trees. So I was using this to cover up like these plastic bases you can see for the palm trees. I used the UV resin to attach them to the surface last night, and I used the ultraviolet flashlight. Worked in about 2 minutes. You can see how it is right there. So it's not going to fall off. It's not going to, yeah. Now I mixed epoxy resin with sand, which is what this whole top is made out of. You can see that. But I got to go in and, yeah, I had to make a, like a mold out of this resin. After this stuff sets up and hardens, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this like not level. I'm going to tilt it back toward me a little bit, and then I'm going to pour on some clear resin. Let me know what you think about how blue that is. I think I got a little carried away with the glitter. I try to make layers of it, and I guess I can, you know what, when I put a layer of transparent like clear resin on here, I'm going to mix in some like fine diamond white glitter, and then I'm gonna, I don't know if I should mix it in or not, but anyway, And I can sprinkle on just some areas, like on top of these waves here. Put on some other colored glitter. And so it's, yeah, but I wonder if I should get more UV resin. Wanted to cover the shells. Get that sand out from underneath there. I don't know. And yeah, I think I'll do the clear resin. This is dark enough blue, and you can see the shells underneath and all that. I wanted to create depth. I probably wish I would have bought more of this UV resin. Now it's kind of pricey. So 2 kilogram was about $60. It's about $30 per kilogram, and a kilogram is about 2 pounds. So yeah, it's not the most economical. Now I think it is cheaper than like the resin I was using from like Walmart. But then again, this stuff sets up. I mean, like, you see how quick that sets up. I was just sloshing it around. And while I was doing, I mean, like, you could just pour the resin. And you got 60 seconds at the most. From the time of pouring the resin to the time that it's hard. If you do it in direct sunlight. If you do it on a day like this, it'll probably cure in about 15 minutes. And become hard in about 15 minutes. But when you do it in direct sunlight, like when the sun is shining, like out there in the yard, oh, you got like 30 seconds at the most of it being a liquid. I mean, like, it just cures way faster than what they say it does. I'll put a link to the, I might, yeah. Yeah, it's BSREZYN, I think it is. It's got like a pretty logo on there. Might have a link to it for you. But anyway, I use silicone here on the inside of there. That's just resin tape. It's supposed to like not stick to the resin. So that way I can just peel this all off when I'm done. But what I want is for it to be wedge shaped. And it'd be thicker that way. So that way when this is set level on the countertop, it'll actually slope that way. The drain channel needs to be cut out there. It got full of resin. The drain channel is, as you can see, right there. It's a notch. So this is going to be designed like I do not trust the water to do what it's supposed to do. Now to waterproof this, I'm gonna put on at least a 2 millimeter thick layer of epoxy resin. These bolts you see there, I'm gonna cut those bolts off right there. They're not deep enough. I did not have an understanding of how I want to do this because I'm learning. I have not seen this stuff on YouTube. I mean, I've seen like resin tutorials, but people just make crafts with it. I've not seen anybody make a sink top for it yet. So I'm going to cut these bolts off with a Dremel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure in 10 inches from the edge. I'm going to measure in 10 inches from the edge and drill a hole. 4 inches from the front, so put it right around here. And then I'm going to put the other one about 10 inches inward. And then about 4 inches in, so about here. And drill the holes there. I'm going to put in 1/4 inch thick bolts. 20 thread, and they're going to stick out about 5 or, well, I'm going to use 6-inch bolts. They're going to stick out several inches underneath. These are 2-inch bolts that you see there. Well, anyway, it's got to be long enough bolt to go through this, go through underneath the sink at El Maguey, and then allow you to just tighten on wing nuts. You only need 2 bolts to hold it in place. Well, the weight of it, it shouldn't move, really. Well, this is mostly to keep it from moving left to right. But it also helps keep people from taking it. This drain notch needs to be cut out. And when I go to install this, how I'm going to do it is when I go to install this, make sure the sink there at the restaurant is completely dry. And then toward the edge of the drain channel there, I'm going to put on a layer of silicone. And then I'm going to set, well, there's got to be holes drilled in the existing sink. And then get those holes drilled. And then I'm going to, near the drain channel, I'm going to put in a layer of silicone. And then you set this on top of there. And that silicone's going to smush underneath here. It's going to be kind of like a gasket. Like in a water pump in a car, like in the engine of a car. Is what it's going to be like. And then I just got to wipe off the excess out of the drain channel there, the excess silicone. But this drain channel is going to be, it's going to make sure the water, once it falls off the edge of the sink, only stays in there and then goes down into the drain slot. There's going to be where's that right there, a height difference of more than a half an inch. So there's no way when this is set up properly, there's no way that the water will miss the drain. I gotta put on a little more sand to get that to dry like it should. I want it to look like sand like that. That's got a rough surface. I gotta do some more of this. But yeah, this is gonna be just amazing once it's done. It's expensive. I mean, I got $100 in resin just in this. Plus another $60 in resin there. The sand is cheaper, but I just got another gallon of resin today. Now, it's not the UV resin. Now, outdoors, this resin, I think, will set up faster because it's warmer. Plus, you got, like, it's going to get the fumes away, like, really good. And then my hibiscus plant opened up another flower today. So I got 2 flowers. I wonder if there's 2 plants in there. And the reason why is because this side just does yellow, from what I noticed. And this side's doing pink. The ants love to eat the hibiscus. Hibiscus flowers. That's unfortunate. You can see the ants. Let's get zoomed in there. You see the ants just moving around there. They feel entitled to chew on my hibiscus buds. You can see them there. Those ants are being bad. Well, anyway, hopefully you enjoy what I've been working on. It's been taking a while. I started this in late May with a prototype. Been going through June. Alexa, what is the time and date?
It's Wednesday, July 10th, 2024, 2:51 p.m.
It's July 10th right now, 2024, and I'm still not done. I thought I was going to have it done by the middle of June, but I'm like learning all this. And I got my Majesty palms growing. Yeah, it's quite a work in progress. Haven't went vacationing, haven't done anything yet. I'm just working on this. But hopefully everybody enjoys it.